Legends, how are we? Joey here from the Ruck podcast. Look, it's our new episode of the Ruck Report, round 15. I'm just trying to get my mate Boxxy to join. Of course, good mate Reese of the show. You know him quite well. Just trying tuning in for the first time. Thank you for joining us. Of course, what we do is we go through the round that was. Here he is, the man himself, Boxxy.
How you going, mate?
Good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, good, mate.
Beautiful. Just going through what the Ruck Report is. Obviously, it's a round review. We'll go through the 5 games, talk a little bit about them. If you do have comments, people, please drop them in and we will get through the comments as we go. All right, Box, let's start off with some Thursday night footy. Sharks v Dragons, the Southern Derby, mate. Look, the Sharks, they have looked atrocious the past couple of weeks heading into this game. They got it done in the second half, but the Dragons, it was all them in the first half, mate. What do you make of the Sharks' performance?
Very sloppy first half. Very, very sloppy first half. But, give the Sharks credit where their credit's due. They did a
Yeah.
really good second half of footy, but that's a big difference. Like, you can put a good first half of footy together and a good second half, but if you don't play the full 80 minutes, then how are you supposed to be the team you want to be?
100%, mate. 100%. They've look the week before they lost to the Warriors quite convincingly, had the bye, and then they lost to the Roosters convincingly before that. So they haven't looked great of late. It was great to see them get another win. I heard a stat during the week for that game that the underdog on a Thursday night had won the last 8 in a row. So the
Yeah,
Dragons
I
were
saw
good
that.
early,
Yeah, I
but
saw that.
but yeah, they couldn't get it done unfortunately for the Drags. But mate, moving forward for the Dragons, of course, they had that 50-point score against
Sharks
the
are here.
Dolphins last week. And then obviously this loss now to the Sharks, mate. Where does that take them? Do you think they're in danger of dropping to the bottom 4?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, to
Yeah,
say the least. Yeah, that they're definitely going towards the bottom 4.
yeah,
Um,
it's not good.
it's not looking good. We
It's yeah, look, it's not great if you're a Dragons fan. Of course, we've got our good mate Josh the Saint who loves his Dragons. So if you are a Dragon fan, I'm really sorry, but I think you're heading down at the moment. Uh, Of course, let's jump into our Friday night game, mate. Now, upset of the week, Titans v Sea Eagles.
Mhm.
Mate, Manly Sea Eagles, they are the most inconsistent team. I think they're the hardest team to tip. Of course, Cherry Evans, not named for Queensland, gets named for Manly and then doesn't deliver in this game. Mate, what are you making of Manly at the moment?
Rubbish.
Mm,
Just a rubbish. DCE's at the very end of his career.
yeah,
I think he should never have been picked for Origin straight up. Personally, and I'm a Queensland fan.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, Manly are in shambles. Like I was
yeah.
talking to a bloke from work, and he literally just says, if they haven't got Tom Torovic, that's it. And whenever he's not there, they lose. And even when he's there, they lose. They haven't got a good feeder system, and they're not going to get anywhere soon unless shit changes.
Mate, 100%. Mick Makes Art said, Manly, Seabold has to go, mate. I think you're on the money there. No accountability at the moment at Manly. It just looks like Seabold's trying to find excuses for why their form is the way it is. I mean, this is no discredit to the Titans. I really like the Titans, but they're not a top 8 team. You know, the Titans, they're a bottom 4 team, and they won this game convincingly. Kieran Foran wound back the clock against his former club. I thought he was electric, but yeah, look, credit to the Titans. They were really good.
Yeah, yeah. Titans actually played some half decent footy. I don't think they're a bottom 4 team. I think they're like the
Yep.
top half of
Yeah,
the
nice.
bottom 8. But they're like one of those teams where you sit there and just go, yeah, you're probably about here.
Yeah.
And man, he's like, yeah, bro, you're going down to Boxyville, you're going down the bottom.
They're sliding, aren't they? They're sliding.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, not a great game for Manly fans. Titans fans will be stoked though. But mate, jump into some Saturday footy. 2 games on Saturday, of course. Only 5 games this week. Saturday first game, Knights v Roosters. Now, bludger of a game. A bit of controversy in this one, but we'll start off with the Newcastle Knights. Now, of course, no Ponga. Fletcher Sharp was a late exclusion in this game, so Fletcher Hunt move to fullback. I think if you're in Newcastle, you just have to be named Fletcher and have a mullet, and you get picked for the night straight away. So Fletcher Hunt moved straight into into that spot. The Knights, they looked good early. They led 8-0 for 65 minutes of this game, and then it was the last 15 where the Roosters scored, then got a controversial try to win it. But mate, what did you make of Newcastle's performance off the back of a comeback win last week against Manly, but scrappy before that?
I think the Knights are very. Oh, how do I say this in the nicest way? They're fucked. They're fucked. Like, they've got the talent. That's the problem.
Yeah,
They've got the
yeah,
talent. They've got a good coach in Adam O'Brien. The problem is they can't put it onto the field. Like,
yeah.
there's a lot of really nice juniors coming through in the Cessnock Goannas, Maitland Pickers, all that sort of
Mm,
stuff. But, the best players at the moment are Fletcher Hunt and Fletcher Sharp. And
yep,
that's about it. Like,
yeah,
the moment Fletcher Sharp goes out of team, they're fucked. Like, there's no structure, there's no nothing. And the Roosters took advantage of that. And, you know, kudos to them.
yep.
But, yeah, the Knights are in absolute shambles, to say
They
the
are,
least.
mate. They are. Look, let's talk about that try now. Of course, Siwa Wong scores with his arm. Now, the big controversy was that a lot of people think that it touched his fingers first. The replay I saw, I didn't see fingers, but initially I said no try, only because it went under his arm. But today I did read from the official rulebook that said you can still score with your arm or with your torso if you do ground the ball. But of course, there's going to be divided opinion. But one thing I will say is that Newcastle Knights had the penalty count 6-3 in their favour, and they
Mm.
had three set restarts to the Roosters, none, and they still lost. So I think when you have that much possession and that many penalties, you should be scoring more than 8 points.
I think, personally, just like bullshitly, if you're touching it like a try to go into a score, that's not a forearm try. That's not a try.
Yeah,
It's got to be your hands. It's got to be your hands. Like,
yeah,
because
I,
otherwise
I, I
it's
do
just
agree.
I could sit there every time and just go bang. And I'm an AFL
Yeah,
guy. I could
yeah,
just go bang. You tell me that's a try? No, that's not groundwood
yeah,
falls. That's nothing. Like, that's all
yeah.
like bullshit.
I will say though, to the Roosters' credit, you played to the whistle, and unfortunately the ref didn't call it. As I said, I thought it was no try originally, and I yelled no try as soon as it happened. We got given the try, we got given one there. The Knights had ample opportunities to win this game, and they just couldn't do it. But yeah, look, credit to the Roosters to somehow come back from 8-0 down and get the win. Mate, for Keddy, our big front rower, Brad
Mm.
Fittler like, absolutely
Mm.
ran half the field and then stepped the fullback to score a try. Mate, there is
Not bad.
nothing better in
Not
rugby
bad.
league. Nothing better.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
We've got a comment here from Mr. Soulman4. He said, I remember when Fatty said you could score with your Morton stock. And then he said, I agree, boys. Yeah, mate, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
The way it's
exactly
going at
right.
the moment, they let you score with your head. So, yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. A couple of grey areas. But, mate, let's jump into the next Saturday game. I know you don't want to talk about this one, but the Cowboys v. the Dolphins, of course. Those that may not know you, mate, you are an avid Cowboys man.
I am a Cowboys man.
Uh, wasn't your night. The Dolphins have been absolutely on fire 2 weeks in a row now. 250 plus scores consecutively, which is just incredible. But mate, let's go through the Cowboys first. Of course, you're missing a lot of Origin stars. No Nanai, Cotter, Dearden as well. Mate, take us through what happened with the boys. What was there a moment you pinpointed? What was it?
We're just fucked, to be honest. Like, we rely so much on the Origin stars,
Yeah.
we just don't have any structure behind it. Like,
Mm,
it's very obvious. It's very obvious. And I think with the Cowboys right now, like, Todd Payton's doing a good job of what he's got, but he can't utilize the team to the extent that we can be able to contend for finals. And I think we're
yeah.
just at the point where it's just like, well, is it just Orange Stars and just hoping for the best, or whether the Dolphins are improving? Because I thought the Dolphins were amazing.
Yeah.
I thought they were
Yeah.
amazing. Like, one of the hits, I think it was it Ray Stone? who did that really
Oh,
good hit.
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He smacked our guy. Just fucking beautiful hit. I was sitting there just going like, yeah, we're fucked. Like, we're fucked. We're in shambles, mate. I said at the start of the year that we'll be bottom two. Like, we're in real trouble. We got a lot of things that need to improve, but credit to the Dolphins, 8 in a row, I think it was, or I think
Yeah,
Herbie
well,
Farnworth
Herbie has
scored
scored, yeah, 8
8 in a row.
tries in a row. Crazy.
Like, crazy to him. Like,
Yeah.
awesome effort. But like Cowboys
I mean, look, he shouldn't have had that try. Nicarimo basically gifted it to him.
yeah,
Nicarimo did all the hard work.
yeah, well, good for Herbie.
Yeah, great
I'm
for
pretty
Herbie.
sure the English and the British Lions, I was going to probably sit there and just go, yeah, sweet, no worries with Big Herbie.
Locked in, locked in.
Yeah,
Mate, the Dolphins have been really interesting because they started the year 0-4. Couldn't win a game the first 4 rounds of the competition. Then they beat Melbourne, they beat Penrith in consecutive weeks.
mm,
And now 250 point. I think I saw they've scored 158 points in 3 games. So they beat the Bulldogs, then they beat Dragons and then your Cowboys all in consecutive games
mm.
and have just absolutely come from nowhere. A bit of a dark horse now for me. Bit of a dark horse for the finals, I think. Mr. Soulman said, "Don't complain, boys. Eels are really fucked, mate." Well, yeah. Look, you're exactly right there,
There's no
but
doubt about that.
that's a given, mate. That's an absolute given. But the Dolphins look fantastic, mate. Your Cowboys, I don't know if it's bottom two. I think Dearden is too good of a player to let this team slide too
Yeah,
much.
yeah, I agree. Like,
Yeah, I think once
is
he's
a
back,
class act.
yeah, yeah. I think once he's back, he'll get the boys on the right foot. I thought Drinkwater was pretty quiet for his standards. He's been really good this year.
And he was
Had a quiet
captain
one.
this week too.
Yeah, yeah. He was captain. He went off with that HIA, and he just didn't look. He came back on after that and couldn't get his
Yeah.
groove on. Couldn't get
And
into the rhythm of the
when you
game.
have the HIA, like, you're never the same afterwards.
Mm,
Like, I'm an
yeah,
AFL guy, as you know, but like,
yeah,
the moment you get that HIA, no, you're
yeah.
you're not in the same sense.
Yeah, exactly, mate. But look, credit to the Dolphins again. They get it done 2 weeks in a row, mate. We'll jump into our last game. It was the Rabbitohs against the Doggies today. Time recording Sunday afternoon. Fantastic win again for the Dogs. They just keep on winning. They're just absolutely flying. It doesn't matter who's out. They had no Max King, no Stephen Crichton, no Matt Burton, of course, as well. But they just still got it done against the luckless Bunnies, who, of course, were missing Latrell Mitchell through Origin. But, mate, let's start off with the Bunnies first. Now, AJ getting another try, taking his total to 202. Do you think he'll become the most capped try scorer in rugby league history?
I hope he does,
Mm,
personally, because I think he's one of those unheralded heroes.
yeah,
He's one of those guys who's never played Origin, just
that's right.
always done his role, done what he had to do, and he's one of those teammates that like you want to play with. And
Yeah,
if he breaks that, kudos to him. Like,
I
he
hope he
deserves
does.
every single recognition that he gets. I don't
Yeah.
think it can happen to a better player, to be honest.
212 is the record, Ken Irvine. So he's only 11 tries to get in front, 10 tries to equal it. So well, he could even do that the rest of this year. I mean, there's not many rounds to go, but he could definitely do it. Mr. Solomon said, given he's talking about the Eels here, he said, given I think Riles is building nicely, BA was winning at the hearts of the players with the free steak sandwiches, beers, and bugger sugar, mate. Eels are cooked. They had the bye this week, which is great, but we'll talk about them another time. No,
Eels
no,
are
it's
fucked.
it's good to hear about your Eels, mate. I think Riles will try and get them on the right track once he has the right team around him. But back to the Rabbits, I think the Rabbits for me at the moment are really struggling when there's no Latrell. They sort of don't know how to get on the front foot. Latrell is so good at being that third playmaker. He can get you into a great field position. He can kick the ball, 70, 80 meters, but they just didn't have that. I think also Cody Walker, in my opinion, needs to retire. He's 35. He's just looking done. Keeps getting injured. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, mate.
No, I agree. I think Latrell. Well, everyone knows what I think of Latrell. Yeah, I think he's the
Yeah,
most overrated player in rugby league.
yeah,
But as
yeah,
for Cody Walker, I think he's done, mate. Like,
yeah.
he's done what he can in rugby league, and he's had a great career. And you can't sit there and below that. But He's done, mate. He's done. Like
Yeah,
you've got all that talent at South right now. Like you got Lockie Gray sitting there a fullback. The moment
yeah,
Latrell comes in, he's kicked to reserve grade. Like what do you mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
the guy was leading the Dally M after
Mm,
5 rounds. How are you not having
that's
him in
right.
the first grade side?
I could see Gray moving to 5'8" for
I
Cody
think
Walker.
he would be absolutely amazing at 5'8".
Yeah, yeah, alongside Jamie Humphreys in the next couple of years. So I think
Because he's
that's
got
their
the
plan.
running game though. Like even though
Yeah,
being smaller, he's got the running game and he knows how to read the game. If you're a fullback, no matter what sport you play, you can see the game better than anyone. He
yeah,
would be
absolutely, mate.
fantastic at that role. And
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sure,
I
like a
completely
guy
agree.
who's what 170 and
Yeah,
80 kilos or whatever he is, he can kick a ball.
yeah,
He'll be able to place the ball in beautiful spots. Like, why not give him a go?
mate. Some fantastic little 5'8" like that. You look at our flanger, who was a halfback. Of course, he was
Alfie,
tiny.
the goat,
Uh,
baby, the goat, the
Preston
goat.
Campbell, mate, as well. He was, Preston Campbell was tiny but fantastic at 5'8". Jamie Soward
Exactly
was
right.
another one.
Exactly
So
right.
yeah. Could definitely do it. Mr. Soulman said, terrible reception here in Cambodia, boys. And then he said, love you, boys. Got to go. I'll tune in when I get home. Cheers, boys. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Mr. Soulman, for tuning in.
No,
Mate,
appreciate it, brother.
yeah, we definitely do. Let's talk about the Bulldogs quickly now. They're absolutely flying at the moment. A couple of sin bins in this game. I don't think there's going to be too much that will affect them moving forward. Mate, do you think they're going all the way this year? They just look so strong.
I actually tipped them in our little post that we put not too long ago, but I'm a
Yep.
little bit worried. I think the Galvin thing is going to probably shake him up a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
I honestly thought Galvin was one of the most overrated hypes that's been around for a
Mm,
long time,
mm,
personally. I like the way he plays, but he's not suited to what the Bulldogs want to do. Because
yep.
if you look at the first half of the year, you look at Toby Sexton and
Burton. Matt
Burton.
Burton. Yeah.
But then you look at Bailey Hayward coming off the bench, it worked really, really well. Then you
Yeah.
throw Galvin in, you're putting that in as a mid-season like intervention. That's gonna throw out the game plan. That's gonna throw out everything. And also,
It already has.
you're gonna throw in Crichton in there, obviously off Origin duties. You're gonna throw
Yeah.
Kurt Mann in there, who I think is probably the best utility in the game. All that sort of shit. How are you going to throw Galvin in there to make the best opportunity into the Bulldogs and maximising their premiership credentials? I
Yeah.
think personally, I would, if I had the chance, I'd probably have them at 4 for right now.
Yep.
I don't think
Yep.
that would win it. I would like to see them win it because I think their
Yeah.
crowd base and everything would be unreal at a grand final.
Some bombs in Belmore.
But again, like obviously, I'm being an AFL guy. You can't change your halves during the year to
Yeah.
make the premiership team. Like
Yeah, for sure.
it's so fucked. And I think Toby Sexton is going to be the unlucky bastard who misses out. Because you've
It's
got
been
Burton and Galvin and just
it's yeah, it's been really interesting because 2 weeks ago when Galvin first joined, Sexton actually went off so Galvin could come on, and he played at 9. So Marnie went off onto the bench. Sexton came on at 9, and Galvin played at 7, which was really interesting because I just don't think that works. This week, Haywood, that man you mentioned before, he played at lock
yeah, he was
tonight. So
13. Yeah,
that was really interesting for me. I think Galvin, if he got a bit of size on him, could potentially become a lock, but that's down the track. I don't think that's yet.
he
I
needs to
agree
be
with
the
you.
kind of who's the one I'm thinking of? Luke Lewis, like back
Yeah,
in the day,
yeah,
playing like a winger role going to the Sharks, being a lock and being a
yeah.
centre and all that. If you add that frame to your size, oh, he's a big boy, but if you add that size, you're the ultimate utility.
Yeah, for sure, mate. But yeah, look, I think it's going to disrupt them a little bit as well. I think coming up, they've got a couple of hard games. Penrith will be a really interesting game coming up.
Mm.
Obviously, Panthers back in a little bit of form. But look, that's it for our 5 games. Of course, Origin, a couple of nights away, mate. What's your prediction for Queensland this Origin game too?
Well, obviously, the first game was. I said from the start, even in our conversations, I said that New South Wales should win.
You did, you did.
I don't think that we're going to win at all this
Oh
series.
no.
I really don't. I really
Yeah.
don't. Like, I love the changes Billy Slater's done, but I don't think. I think Corey Horsburgh should have been in there straight
Yeah.
away.
I agree.
I don't understand why a lot of the decisions that Billy made, but hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully it's a close game. But Queensland had that dominance for 9 to 10 years.
Yeah. It's our turn.
I'll be able to sit there and just go, okay, well, I can sit there as a Queenslander and just go, yeah, it's New South Wales time.
Mick Makes Art, of course, our social media man. He said, "Sorry, Boxy, it's going to be a whitewash," and I have to agree.
Oh,
I
I
think we're going to
completely
see.
agree.
I
Yeah, but I
think we're
can
going
sit
to see
there
the
and
first
completely
whitewash.
agree to it. I can completely agree to it. Do I love my
Um,
Maroons? Absolutely, I love my Maroons.
Good
But
man.
yeah, we're in trouble. We're in serious trouble.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? Of course, Origin Game 2 Wednesday night in Perth, so that'll be really good to witness. But that is all we have time for the Ruck Report tonight. I want to thank Boxy for jumping on. This will be on YouTube as well, so you can go back and check that out. Ruck Report for round 15. Don't forget, all our scheduled normal programming will resume tomorrow night with recording episode 114 and then the Ruck Report again on the Sunday. But until next time, that's Boxy. I'm Joey. Be good.
Love yous.